to finally piece the pieces within. But I lay restlessly herein, I still hear the Homo sapiens on the other side. I hear men crying like women for what they can't defend. I hear men becoming women in bid to mend the rent they fail to mend. I envision them walking with fine eyes covered with nets, pockets full of pistols filled with bullets, hearts out of their thoracic cavities. I envision their souls collapsing in unrelenting agony, trying hard to crawl out of this mess, not to lose face, but it's too late. We are verily in total loss, mate. Innocent people lose lives to calamities so artificial, guilty ones acting superficial. I'm compelled to ask myself, what is this? What happened to Shalom, where harmony and laughter were louder than silence? But now life is worse than a death sentence. We live but as survivors, existing only because Syria, Libya, Palestine, DRC, Nigeria are not our residences. All we do is tweet and Facebook about their occupants' incidences and still remain with the moral audacity to introduce ourselves as human beings. I guess this is what they mean when they say there is a difference between a human being and being human. What happened to Mirembe, where we were more concerned about the neighbor next door than owning Versace's and Louis Vuitton? But now we live encaged in gates and fences, our eyes glue stuck on movies and series that preach distrust, hatred, revenge, and not love, trust, and forgiveness. So now our happiness is derived from antidepressant pills because trusting the media has got us thinking that our closest allies may actually be our greatest enemies, yet we hatefully pick leaves and Amazons from it. Woe unto us for now, our minds browse and process evil, perceiving it as good business. Our actions are a delusion, an illusion of sorts, where we fight for peace and liberty, but we often take paths that lead us to crossroads that get us taking sides. So now Abdurrahim and Ibrahim cannot talk to Malcolm and Tom, and Flower the miniskirti can barely stand Hawa the hijab. What happened to Salam, where unity was an SI unit of humanity? But now humanity has been narrowed, streamlined to flow along religious, cultural, racial, and technical know-who lines, unaware that all these are impositions we are born into, and before all that, we are all humans. But we proceed by all means to live like a nest of cockroaches, contaminating and predating whatever surrounds them in the absence of light, while hiding and camouflaging in the absence of darkness. The only difference is cockroaches do not discriminate. So I'm now unlearning to relearn, to give peace, salam, shalom, and mirembe, not as just names, but attributes. I'm seeking to give peace, salam, shalom, mirembe. Peace, salam, shalom, mirembe.
Barakallahu fikum. Ladies, once again, allow me recognize the dignitaries we have with us here today. Professor Jagenda, who is the rector, Islamic University in Uganda. We also have the MD Malchoice, Mr. Hassan, the Deputy Supreme Qadi of Kampala, Sheikh Sekaja. We have Honorable Latif Sebagara. We have Honorable Mwadan Kunyinji. We have Haj Kweli Hamza, representing the Ambassador, Saudi Arabia Embassy. We have Mr. Moses Kagwa, who is representing the PS Minister of Finance. And we also have Prince Ali Kachope, who is representing the Ambassador Embassy of Oman. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allow me invite our next speaker, who is Sheikh Weli. Like I did introduce him, Sheikh Weli is a man of many hats. He's on the board of Tawheed Islamic Primary School. He loves charity. That's why he runs a charity called Iman Foundation, whose objective is really to help the disadvantaged children in the different communities. It helps in education. It helps to educate the little children from nursery all the way to university. I know he also he runs a company which is Weli Travel that takes people to Makkah and Medina. Mr. Weli is our chief preacher today. Allow me invite him to come and share with us.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Praise to be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you all for coming. Jazakumullahu khairan. We are in the month of Ramadan. And Ramadan, brothers and sisters, is the month of sharing and kindness. We are here today sharing Iftar. We thank MTN and also Salam TV. As we are here, millions of Muslims are also sharing the Iftar at homes, workplaces, at mosques and other places. In Sudan, they break their fasts and have iftar on the roads, which means Ramadan is a month of sharing, is a month of kindness. We share whatever we have with others. Ramadan is a school where we go annually for a month, 30 days or 29 days. We learn how to share. We learn how to be kind to others. Allah says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. O Muhammad, I have not sent you except that you are a mercy to mankind. You are kind to others. That's why when we were praying now, Salatul Maghrib, there was a baby crying. And we shortened our prayer. We did not shorten it in rakats, but we tried to shorten the sunnahs. Why did we do that? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that I will sometimes be leading prayers and I want to prolong the prayer. I hear a baby crying and I shorten the prayer. That's how kind he was. And that's what Islam says. Islam is a religion of kindness, a religion of sharing. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says in another hadith, he says that if it wasn't that I don't want to make it a must, I will say that a neighbor will inherit his neighbor, which means be kind to your neighbor. Ramadan, we learn to share. When we are sharing, we don't give back to the community. We share what we have with the community. We share what we have with our loved ones. And that sharing, there is one which is a must. It's called in Islam zakah. It's a third pillar of Islam. That annually you have to share a percentage of your wealth, whether you like it or not, and that is 2.5%. So 2.5% of your net profit and wealth, you share it with others. Umar ibn Khattab, the second successor of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, says that إِذَا أَعْطَيْتُمْ فَأَغْنُوا. When you're giving zakah, don't just give coins, but give what is enough for others. So in other words, zakah is to fight income inequality. Mu'adh ibn Jabal was sent to Yemen by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He told him, when you go to them, tell them that they should share with others. Zakah is obliged on them. It is taken from the rich to the poor. Mostly in Uganda, we take our zakah to imams. That is good, no problem. But it's a better way is to take zakah, you yourself, and give it to those who are around you, your neighbors, your cousins, your relatives who are in the village. Go to them and share with them your zakah. That is Islam. It looks out the community. In Islam, in Ramadan, we learn to share. Sharing iftar as we come here and we share. Not only in Ramadan, but also after Ramadan, we learn that we should share with others. Secondly, humbleness. Islam teaches us to be humble. Humble with each other. Prophet Muhammad is the greatest man in history, as also just described by others from other beliefs, that Muhammad was the greatest of all. He changed Arabia and changed the world in only 23 years. But he was the most humble. Adi ibn Hatim came to him and he saw him standing with an old lady. When they went home, he told him to sit first before he sat down. That is Prophet Muhammad. Be humble with your brothers. Be humble at work. Be humble wherever you are. When you are humble, Allah elevates you. When you try to elevate yourself, as you're climbing the ladders of your career, do not step on others. You can climb the ladders of your career without stepping on other people. So be humble wherever you are. Our positions don't matter that much. What matters when you die, when you leave this world, is how good you were to others. Your behavior, how you interacted with other people. That is what will matter. People will say, he was a good person. She was a good person. Try to be humble. Even though the soul, when you climb the ladders, the soul will try to magnify itself. It will try to make itself that now I am the boss here, and others should follow. Being the boss, or otherwise, should still be humble. Let's try to be humble as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was humble. Thirdly, contentment. Contentment is to believe in the garden we are, the beautiful garden we are living in. Some of us will not look at the beautiful garden we are living in, but will go on looking at the trees, whereas we have everything. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَتَمَنُّوا مَا فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بِهِ بَعْضَكُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. Do not admire what we have given to others, because you don't know what they face. Do not admire what others are doing. It's good, you can admire that that person is good, but don't admire with envy, because Allah has given you more and you're having more. Being content is the happiness. Depression and anxiety is rampant in our era. Why? We should ask this question. Our fathers and grandfathers were never depressed, and their life was much harder than ours. But why are we being depressed today? Some scholars say that whenever we live, the body relaxes and it has everything. The soul, it becomes small and it becomes in a hard position, simply because when you get everything, as Hajat was saying, who was here, when you have everything, then what is remaining now? The soul, if it is not attached to its maker, it saddens. Because this body was created from dust. Our body was created from soil. So that's why we are eating vegetables. Whatever we are eating is from soil. If you're eating chicken and meat, everything is from the soil. So your body grows with the soil, but your soul does not grow with the soil. Your soul came from your Maker God. Whenever you connect with Him, you are content and happy. But whenever you do whatever you have, buy everything you have, you will never buy happiness. Get a big house, a big car, everything, you will never get happiness, simply because you have not worked on your soul. Let's work on our souls. Be content with what Allah has given us. Prophet Muhammad says, وَارْضَ بِمَا قَسَمَ اللَّهُ لَكَ تَكُنْ أَغْنَى النَّاسِ. Be content with what Allah has given you. You will be the richest of all. Once you are content, you are the richest person. Do not look at those who are above you. Look at those who are below you. You will be more happy. Be content, and you will be the happiest of all. Thank you very much. Barakallahu feekum for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We appreciate that reminder. I would like to welcome Mr. Salam Waiswa, who is the head of Legal Affairs, Uganda Communications Commission, our regulator, and also Mr. Ibrahim Mukasa from Bank of Uganda. We have done a couple of activities with Salam TV. This is, I think, our seventh year doing the same thing, that every Ramadan, MTN Uganda reaches out to the community. And the purpose is really to connect with the community. Salam has been there with us all this time, and even when we organize such dinners, they're really part of us. Allow me invite the director, country director Salam Charity, Salam Chinove, to come and invite our next speaker, who is none other than the CEO, Next Media. Salam Chinove, please all come and do the honors.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The guest of honor, dignitaries around, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. On behalf of Salam Charity Foundation, a charity arm of Salam Television, a company of Next Media Services, we've partnered with MTN for almost 7 years, where we've reached to very many people, giving them and helping them in different capacities. We've partnered in Omumanywa Salam, though it is specifically for Salam TV, but also the charity arm of Salam TV at times comes in. We thank you, MTN, and we are looking forward for continued cooperation. Group CEO, Mr. Joe Chigozi, I do hereby invite you to deliver your message. Thank you.
Salam alaikum. Our guest of honor, of course, the CEO of MTN, the MD of Mobile Money, and of course, our distinguished preacher tonight. I'd like to also recognize the MD of Salam TV, I would like to recognize the different leaders who have managed to come today in your different capacities. I know that protocol is really huge. But I also like to thank the Muslim leaders who have made it, not forgetting brothers and sisters from the Muslim community. I'd like to thank you all. My name is Joe Chigozi. I've been introduced as the CEO for Next Media Group. I'd like to clarify, I'm the Deputy Group CEO for the group. I'm representing Dr. Kin Karisa today, who is unable to make it. Of course, I'd like to thank the team from Next Media that is led by one of our EXCO members, Ramadhan Bago. I can see him. And the entire Salam TV. Salam TV is a brand of Next Media, which takes, of course, a couple of brands, about 11 brands to say it, NBS being the flagship brand. But today the focus is on Salam TV and Salam Charity. Of course, it's with absolute pleasure for me to represent my group CEO, Kin. On his behalf, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank MTN Uganda. We need to give a round of applause to MTN. MTN is not just a telecom, but MTN is here to work with all Ugandans to transform this country, just like Next Media or Salam Television. Of course, with this, as Next Media through Salam TV and Salam Charity, we pledge our continued commitment to sharing with the vulnerable groups in different areas, not to mention health, but also livelihood. The month of Ramadan provides a wonderful opportunity for us to share, a wonderful opportunity for us to reach out. Our partnership with MTN dates way back in 2017. And of course, this initiative has become one of the biggest calendar events that, of course, comes at a time where assistance is much needed for the unprivileged, but also the task has been continuing ever since we started. We did a lot of work during COVID, distributing food, distributing supply, helping out on the health workers, and a lot of work was achieved. Not to mention, of course, communities that are very, very vulnerable, including refugee communities. I am not in position to really speak about Ramadan, but I'd like to say that it has become part of us now, that Ramadan is a month for us to reflect as human beings. Ramadan is a month for us to be disciplined, a month that is about charity, about sharing with one another. And of course, these values are so critical to all human beings. And we believe that most of you have embraced these values, isn't it? And you're continuing to strive to embrace these values. I'm very confident that this initiative will go a very long way to build a very strong relationship between Salam TV and, of course, MTN Uganda. MTN just doesn't support the Uganda Cranes and so many other initiatives, but also comes to support initiatives of this nature, because it's through these initiatives that MTN serves for the good of all Ugandans. Most importantly, of course, the partnership between the Muslim communities nationwide. I want to express my appreciation to all our Muslim leaders once again, to our business partners, to ambassadors and their representatives, to customers, but also all media fraternity present today to show their support in this very important month of Ramadan. Your presence is a very clear testament of the unity and the commitment to the ideals of Ramadan. On behalf of Next Media, once again, I'd like to, last but not least, thank MTN Uganda for the tireless efforts to coming good to support vulnerable communities during this very important month. As Salam TV, we are very committed to working with everyone to be able to serve those that are less privileged. I thank you all for listening to me, and of course, Ramadan Kareem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Chigozi, the Deputy CEO, Next Media. Allow me invite our CEO to share a word with us. Madam Sylvia, you're welcome.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICT, Dr. Amina Zawade, Deputy CEO, Next Media Group, Joe Kigozi, our lovely preacher who has given us a very good word. Thank you so much, sir. The business community, the Muslim leadership, and everyone who's here today, ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues from MTN Uganda, Salam alaikum. It is indeed a privilege and a very great honor for us to be here this evening as MTN. And let me first of all start off by saying thank you very much for honoring our invitation to be with us here this evening. This was an invitation that we sent to you together jointly with the Next Media Group. There's an African saying that says, you know, you can invite people to a meal, but they do not come. And people do not come to share a meal with you, not because they do not have food in their own house, or they cannot watch, I think, the moonlight from their own home, but they actually come because they desire to have fellowship and communion with you. So we really want to thank you for making the time to be with us here this evening as we share this meal together. So good evening to you all. It is indeed a great honor for me to be with you here tonight, together with my team, as we share this meal with you all as you break your day's fasting. This is my first Iftar dinner with our beloved Muslim brothers and sisters in Kampala since joining MTN Uganda 7 months ago, and it is indeed a great honor to be able to host you tonight. First and foremost, allow me to thank you and congratulate you upon making it this far. I know we still, I think, have a couple of weeks to continue to celebrate Eid, and it is the journey that counts. And also, as we have been reminded, the importance of this time of reflection, of thinking about those who are less fortunate, a time about thinking about how do we continuously humble ourselves, and as a lady who shared the poem with us, how do we continue to be more human to one another rather than just being human beings that exist. We might all have different faiths, but at MTN we are one family, united by the shared vision that we strive to achieve through our united effort as a team. As a workforce, we appreciate the unity in diversity, and this is something that we continuously seek to foster in the work environment that we're in. As a brand, we also appreciate our diversity, and that is why MTN Uganda, for the 7th year running, we have partnered with Salam Charity to reach out to the less fortunate in our communities across the country during the Ramadan season. As we all know, and as we have been reminded, Ramadan is a period of reflection on the importance of humility, discipline, dedication, and sacrifice, and to reaffirm the bond that brings communities and societies together. It is with this spirit that we, as MTN Uganda, have decided to host this occasion to celebrate our friendship with you, our Muslim brothers and sisters, as a token of your support and appreciation over the years. At MTN Uganda, we have collaborated with Salam Charity since 2017 to provide assistance to the vulnerable in Muslim communities during the holy month of Ramadan. This support aims to help them in their spiritual journey of fasting. This year, we will be specifically reaching out to the Muslim widows in a number of selected communities across Uganda, and to that effect, last week, I believe we delivered assorted food and household items to Kawempe and Bogo Mosque to reaffirm our commitment to the Muslim community. And we also extended similar support to the vulnerable communities in Bale, Lira, Hoima, and Masaka, among other regions. In addition, from a company perspective, we have also brought back the special Ramadan bundles to ease communication during this fasting period. Every time an MTN customer buys airtime or buys a bundle worth 500 shillings, they will get 30 MTN minutes and 100 MBs to be used between midnight and 5 a.m. that night. So when you break your fast, you can call your family and friends and have a conversation. And this offer is open to all MTN customers. This is a special offer for you, and it just goes to underscore our commitment to being a responsible corporate citizen and supporting our community where we operate. At MTN Uganda, we remain committed to continuing our partnership with you countrywide, and we look forward to making a meaningful difference in the lives of those we serve with our telecom services. Thank you so much for choosing MTN. Thank you for honoring our invitation to be with us here this evening. Thank you for making this an evening of communion. I pray that you will enjoy your meal. I pray that you will enjoy the conversations. And remember that together we are unstoppable. Ramadan Kareem.
Allow me request the CEO to invite the chief guest.
Oh, you hadn't told me I was supposed. I would have spent more time preparing, but I just want to say, Dr. Amina, it has been an absolute pleasure to know you. In my 6 or 7 months here in MTN Uganda, we have had various conversations, and your passion for impacting community, your passion for creating an impact has been absolutely inspiring. So it is a great honor and privilege to welcome you to speak to us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Dr. Amina Zawadi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The response is so low. I know it is late, we are hungry, and I'm therefore going to be very brief. The CEO of MTN, Sylvia Mulinge, the Next Media Deputy CEO, all CEOs around and present, our Sheikh tonight, Sheikh Weli, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in all your respective capacities, good evening to you all. And welcome to this Iftar dinner that has been organized by MTN and Salam TV Salam Foundation tonight. I joined in this Iftar dinner for the first time last year. And today I'm here again to celebrate Ramadan, for us to be together as friends. I met friends last time, we are meeting new friends today. It is
like the previous speakers have said, a day for us to get together, to meet all the new friends, to celebrate our lives, to celebrate our oneness, and to celebrate our brotherhood as Muslims. So I want to thank you all for having honored this invitation to come and have this dinner. Tonight we are honoring a tradition of one of the world's greatest faiths. For Muslims, Ramadan is a time to reflect and to remember that discipline and devotion is the essence of a life of faith. I think in all the speeches we have had, it is just re-emphasizing how important it is for us to, reflect on humanity, reflect on being humble, reflect on that one God that we all do not see but have to, to raise up to him and believe the word of God that is written in the book that we all believe in, the Quran for the Muslims, and the others also believe in the books that were brought down upon them. The values of peace and charity are the importance of what we have in our communities. Of course, every year, annually in Ramadan, we remember the value of sharing, we remember the value of, understanding what people go through. For us to be hungry for over 12 hours, I think in other parts of the world, there are those who go hungrier because we fast from dawn to dusk. Is it dusk to dawn? Sometimes those words can be confusing. But we fast from sunrise to sunset. There are countries where I think the span between sunrise and sunset is close to 16 hours. For us, we are blessed to fast 12 hours. But during that period, it is a period of reflection. It is a period of being humble, a period of knowing what it is to be hungry. I think there are people out there who don't have food and don't have food all year round, or feed on one meal, or even no meal at all. So this reminds us to understand what humanity across the globe goes through. In Islam, there is a hadith on brotherhood that goes, Allah helps us as long as Allah will help you as long as you help your brother. And I think that has been the sermon for today. I will give an example of people who have helped others. There is a Salam Foundation or Salam Charity. I have subscribed to Salam Charity all the time, especially during Ramadan. And I call upon all Muslims to do the same. I commend Salam Charity for the work that you're doing for the various communities. And they're not only helping Muslims, but everybody who is needy. So yes, they deserve a round of applause for that. We also thank MTN for the various initiatives. This alone, joining hands with Salam TV to do this for the Muslims is a big statement. You have a number of initiatives you have done. The MTN Marathon that you do annually serves different purposes based on the themes, but all that is aimed at supporting communities, sharing with others what they cannot have, and supporting mankind as well as those who are marginalized. In the IT world, this year, I think the theme is that we are leaving no one behind. As we are connecting all the unconnected, we want to ensure that we leave no one behind. But all that has been told to us already in the Quran. Support everyone, support all communities so that we live as one in our society. So for me, what I would like to emphasize to you is that we've got to do everything in our power as a country and as individuals to make sure that more Ugandans have the opportunity to move ahead and to move up and to make themselves better. It will be through employment opportunities that we create. It will be through the rewards for hard work that people make. It will be through the care that you give to your families, that you give to your societies, and the people that you live with. And that's one of my visions as a permanent secretary, and one of the visions for the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, and the vision for this country and government. I want to thank all those here tonight who, in their respective capacities and communities try to do the same thing. This dinner and gathering reminds us of our responsibilities to each other beyond ourselves or beyond our borders. Even as we celebrate, all that we have in common today is that we know that there are many people out there who have been subjected to wars, who have been subjected to ailments, who have been subjected to hunger, unemployment, etc. As a Ministry of ICT, we have come up with a campaign of, working with all partners, stakeholders, the private sector, development partners, other governments, to ensure that we create employment opportunities for the youth. I think the impact that we want to create is to increase, the numbers of those that are unemployed. And this is because we know that the majority of our population are youths. 70% of our population are 30 years and below, if we didn't know that. And many of them are jobless. Many of you here are parents and have maybe got graduates who do not have jobs. So our job is to use IT to, as an opportunity or a media and platform through which jobs can be created. We know that there are those youths that have gone to the Middle East or Asia to look for jobs that are casual, but for us, we want to promote jobs that are professional through IT, and we are calling this business process outsourcing. So someone can work from Uganda, for UK, for US, for any other country, but they can also work in Kampala for Gulu and any other part of the country. So that is what we are promoting, and they encourage you to look out on our websites, to look out for any communication that comes up for you to take up these opportunities. Here in Uganda, even as we do this, we have to continue to remain true to our highest values. As Muslims, that's one thing, because I am addressing a gathering of majority Muslims, but also as a society. So let's renew our obligations to one another as we gather to celebrate this holy month of Ramadan. Let's help lift one another up. I already stated that. And let's remember, whatever our faith, that we all believe in one God. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, we all believe in one God. We call that God Allah for Muslims. Others call him God, others call him Jehovah, but he's one God that we all believe in. And that speaks a lot to the unity that we have as humanity, and we are all bound to care for our own brothers and sisters. So I said I will keep it short, and I'll therefore take this opportunity to wish you all Allah's blessings in this holy month of Ramadan, and we pray that Allah answers all our prayers and our wishes for this month. I wish you Ramadan blessings, that is Ramadan Kareem, and wish you, I know we are halfway now this month, so in the event that I don't see you again, I will wish you a happy Eid when the time comes. Have a good evening and enjoy our Iftar dinner. Thanks to the organizers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jerry,